cleaning out their coop. We're just doing like a little more than a basic clean. Bear with me because I'm going to be moving you guys off like periodically throughout this so you can kind of see everything that I'm doing. We had the grass cut yesterday, so there's a whole bunch of grass all over the coop that I'm just going to sweep off. And I took out their food trays already. We'll clean that down. Hi, hello, how's everyone doing? What? I don't know. Because I don't want to get kicked off.
I won't show my face.
Okay. You're funny. Just doing a quick coop cleaning today. Nothing crazy. We had the grass cuts yesterday, so I am sweeping off the outside of the coop first because there's a whole bunch of grass all over it. And I'm going to take out their water. I cleaned off their water jug already this morning, so I don't need to do that, but I'm just going to take it out because I am going to clean the inside here. Hi, sweeties. Get over here. Take out their buckets. I'll clean that out as well because it gets really messy. And then they have sticks in here that they like to play on. So I'll take all of the sticks out, put those down to the side. And then I'm going to open up their hutch door for them real quick so they can go in there because I'm going to spray everything down. And then I'm going to sweep inside here because of their dirt buckets that they have. They get tons of rocks and dirt in their coop. And then I need to get myself like a water pressure. Hey, how's your wheels? What does that mean? Quails, maybe you meant quails. They're doing good. We're cleaning out their coop. All right, so I don't have a water pressure hose. I just have a regular hose and I turn it to jet. And then I just spray everything down. If something needs to be scrubbed, I'll scrub it. But I'll spray first to just get everything loosened. I can move you guys closer so you can kind of see inside of the coop. I've taken everything out of there, like their food, their buckets, their little play sticks and things like that. You okay, Emma? Yeah. Okay. They're all inside their hutch right now because they don't want to get sprayed. So I leave their hutch door open until they all go in, and then what I'll do is I'll close it real quick. So now all of them are inside of the hutch. I closed the hutch door so that way none of them can come out. And then I'm just going to spray everything down really good, scrub if need. How's everyone doing? And then I'm going to put everything back in here and I'll clean their hutch out. And I'll open the hutch door once this is done. Eventually I will get a pressure washer, like just a small one, nothing crazy, but eventually I'll do that because it'll make it a little easier so I don't have to do any scrubbing really. Although this side of the coop is pretty clean. Don't really need a lot of scrubbing for this. We're going to clean their bucket out too. This is the largest bucket that they have in there. They love to hide and play in this thing. And it gets, as you can see, really dirty. And before I put it back in, I will just let it dry out. So I'll put it upside down. Just make sure all of the water drains out. And then we'll come around to the other side of their coop here. Let me put you here. Trying to find like a level ground here. There we go. Okay. And then I'll spray everything off here, and if something needs to be scrubbed, I'll scrub it. so sorry. I wasn't looking at comments. I'm sorry, guys. I try to keep up with comments, although I'm not usually, when I'm live, I'm not usually doing something like this. How was your day? My day's going okay so far. It's had a little bit of a stressful morning, but we regrouped. I do have names for my quail, although I will say there's only a couple of them that I can actually like pick out of the bunch that I know their name. The rest of them are just kind of guesses as to who is who now as they've grown up. My girl Rose, I'll always be able to identify her. She was one of my first hens that I ever had, and she's all gray. The rest of them are not, although I do have a chick in the brooder who is gray, so I'm sure she'll have some defining feathers that we can tell them apart. And then Daisy's one of my yellow girls. She has a white face, and that's how I can tell the difference from her. Sonic is another yellow. He's a male, and he has a brown face. I have two males that are yellow with brown faces, but Sonic is larger than the other one, so that's how I can tell the difference between that. The other one is Donald, so the smaller yellow quail with the brown face is Donald. So Daisy and Donald, they were born together I believe that was last year, yeah, last summer. So I can tell them apart because those are the only yellows that I have in there. So like some of them are super easy. Mumble, I can tell the difference of because he is one of the largest brown males in here, and he has like a little tuxedo chest. He has like a white patch on his chest. So I can tell the difference in some of them, but the other ones, I know the names that we gave, but I don't know what name belongs to who at this point. So it's kind of like if they have defining feathers that are enough for me to be able to tell the difference, then I can tell. But the other ones are all very similar in their feather patterns, so it's difficult to tell the names of the rest of them. But I do know the names, and we give names to all of them when they're born. We have fun. We have fun with it. Okay. Hey, cutie. No. No.
Did you throw any like watermelon vines anywhere by any chance?
No. Why?
Macy threw up, and she threw up watermelon chunks, and she threw up the white like parts of the rind and stuff like that. And I'm like, I know they can't eat that, so.
Did you ask Ava?
I asked Ava, she said no, I didn't do that. So, and I asked if Alice did, she said I don't think she did.
No, I only had 2 slices this morning of watermelon, and the rinds went into the trash. I cut them in triangles, so the rind is on all the pieces. There was no like rind scraps. And then I gave the ends. I did have scraps from the ends of the watermelon, but that's in the garage with the quail. So she had to have she either dug mine out of the trash, or well. Somebody had to have given her some then. It could have been Alice. Maybe she didn't know.
Yeah, I was just checking.
Is she okay? Is she okay?
She's fine. She just threw up. There's a couple pieces, but.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Hello. Hi. How's everyone doing? Enjoying these people clean out there. Oh yeah. It has to be done. What? Okay. I do like a deep clean every 2 weeks or so, and then I do a regular daily clean of their food and their water bowls every morning when I come out. So by the end of the day, it does look pretty messy, like almost like I didn't do anything, but that's a part of it. What's up?
Sorry, no, I was just trying to see. I know you wanted to go to the store, so what tell me
I'm just cleaning the coop real quick. I'm almost done.
Okay, well,
I just have to clean the hutch now.
I was trying to decide if
They're in the hutch.
I was trying to decide if I wanted to work out and then get myself a haircut, or do the haircut tomorrow, or work out tomorrow. So, all right, if you're getting close, I'll just maybe do a little workout today, and then I'll maybe shave my head tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
Can we go to the
Maybe. I'll think about it. Alright, so this is their food tray, and I keep their food containers on this, and it covers almost the entire surface area of the back portion, or well, the middle portion of their coop here. Their coop is all hardwire mesh on the bottom, so in order to keep them off of the mesh, I have this tray. I want to get a larger one to where it actually covers the entire surface area, but for now, this is what I have. So that way while they're eating, they just are standing on the tray. Their hutch is not, the only part that is not the hardware wire is their hutch. Their hutch is just wood, and I put shavings in there for them. Their portion, the front portion of the coop that has their water buckets does have the hardwire mesh, but I do keep a bunch of sticks laid out so they can walk on the sticks when they get water and things like that. But for the most part, I keep it the hardwire mesh, and I just do things like this to keep them off of it. It's easier for me to clean the coop that way. I do get a lot of questions about if it's safe. If it's safe for the quail to be on hardwire mesh. And in moderation, yes. So what the setup that I have, yes, it is fine. But they can't be on it all the time, which is again why I have several different bottoms for them to stand on. The food tray is extremely messy. There's dirt from their dirt buckets and food that they have spilled. I don't like to waste food, so I do take the dirt and the food and I put it into their dirt buckets if there's any on here ever, so that way they can kind of pick around in the dirt. It acts as a natural enrichment for them. So if they were out in the wild and not in a coop, that's exactly what they would be doing, digging through the dirt or pecking through the dirt for food. So it makes them a little happy to have something like that to do, and it saves food because sometimes they are really messy. Some days I'll come out here and they've barely made any mess with their food, and then other days I'll come out here and the entire tray, excuse me, the entire tray like now is filled with food and dirt. Mosquitoes are biting me. They're horrible this year. And then what I'll do is I'll take the food tray out because there's still quite a bit of mess on here. Ooh. Oh, it was just a lightning bug. They're not usually out this time of day. Anyway, sorry, are you doing an egg hunt today? Yes, of course I am. I'm your favorite YouTuber right now. Thank you so much. Actually, I can leave that open. They're all in the hutch. That's so sweet. Thank you. Okay. You love the quail vids? I'm glad you love them. They're adorable. Alright, so I'll take the tray and I'll just spray it off, and I'll scrub it if I need to. It just depends. I'm actually going to do it over here because I don't want to make the front of their coop all muddy. And then as you can see, there's still quite a bit of dirt on there. You love my videos, thank you. Do I enjoy taking care of them? Yes, of course. They're adorable, right? But then two, they provide for our family, so this is the least I can do for them. You seen the new movie, K-pop? Yes. I just watched it with my kids the other night. When did you get your first few quail? I got my first few quail last April. They were 8. My older sister gave me my first 8 quail last year for my birthday. It was a complete surprise. I had been talking about getting quail for a while, and while I was on like a little weekend birthday getaway with my husband, because my husband and I have the same birthday, so we usually will do like a weekend getaway for our birthday, and my sister watches our kids, and so while she was watching our kids and we were on our little weekend getaway, she brought quail home for us. My husband was aware, he knew the whole time. That was the first surprise that I was ever genuinely surprised about. It's so hard to surprise me. I figure out everything beforehand. I don't know how. I've just never been genuinely surprised in my life, and the quail were the very first surprise. You got yours this year? Congratulations. How can you tell if they're male or female? I've made a couple videos on it showing you guys, and I will be doing it again because I have some quail chicks in the brooder who are going to be going out in the coop soon. But the female will have just a round opening, and when you check, their bottoms, they'll have just a round opening. And when you check the male, they'll have a round opening, but there will be like this white foamy substance that comes out when you check them. And the white foamy substance, is not what you may be thinking it is. The white foamy substance in the male is, it's their body's natural protection against infection, so that way they can reproduce effectively. So, that's how you can tell the difference. It is difficult checking them because they oftentimes don't want to be held, typically. Sometimes they don't mind, but most of the time they really don't want you touching them. The movie was really good. It is impossible for my quail to change their laying time if something disturbs their usual time. Is it possible? Sorry, I read that wrong. Is it possible for my quail to change their laying time? They can. Typically, quail are going to lay later in the day rather than in the morning. Like chickens typically lay in the morning. Quail typically lay in the later part of the day. If they, for some reason, like had trouble laying an egg, or they are thrown off by either the light that they're receiving during the day, or the temperature, whether it's too hot or too cold, that could delay them from getting an egg out. And then they could end up just laying it at a different time, but typically they'll always lay around the same time. Do my males fight a lot? No. I have 4 male in the coops. I try to keep the male to female ratio at a good spot. You want it anywhere between 3 to 5 female per 1 male. So any extra male that I have, we process for meat. And then I'll keep, obviously, like the appropriate ratio of male in the coop, so that way we can keep hatching eggs. But I haven't had any issues so far with them fighting because the ratio is good. They have enough female to go around and they're happy with it, so haven't had any issues yet. Let me go rinse this off. And then I will just lean this against the coop here so it can kind of dry out a little bit. while I now work on the hutch. This is pretty good. Let me see. I'm not going to put anything back yet. I am going to open their hutch door up though so they can all get out so I can clean that portion of the coop for them. There we go. Go ahead. You can come out now. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I'll put your things back in a minute. They're so cute. All right, I'm going to close this so they can't escape. We're going to come into their hutch here. Their hutch door broke, so it just comes off. It's supposed to be attached like that, but I have to reattach it. All right, I'm gonna put you guys inside the hutch now. Let me see. Thank you for being responsive. No problem. I try to always like respond to comments in videos, comments on live. I really try to communicate with you guys as much as I can, and answer questions. How long does it usually take you to clean their whole thing out? Right now it's taking me much longer than normal because I'm on live and I'm answering questions and things like that, but typically it takes me maybe 30 to 45 minutes at most. Oh, you have baby chickens hatching right now. That's so exciting. Sorry for the noises. Bear with me. I'm gonna get you guys in here. Okay. All right, so this is inside of their hutch, and I keep, you just put everything in the middle here. Looks like, what are you doing? Looks like they might have shredded some, but on the bottom here, you love me? Oh my gosh, thanks. I keep this like paper material on the bottom of their hutch floor. It just kind of keeps the floor a little cleaner, so that way when I'm cleaning it makes it a little easier. I roll it up so that everything that was on top kind of stays in, and I'll take it out. That goes in my compost. I hope you guys can hear me okay. And then as you see, they still have a lot of bedding that's in here, so I'll sweep all of this out. How often do I go live? This is my first time going live on YouTube. I go live more on TikTok, but honestly, like if I'm being 100% honest here, it is rare if I even really go live anywhere at all. I just don't, I need a lot like of energy and time to dedicate towards the live, and it's just not something that I usually have. So the entire coop and hutch here was all built by my neighbor. Him and I designed it together, and he built it for me. It's built out of extra materials that we had lying around. The only thing that we bought for this coop was the hardware wire mesh cloth. I'm gonna switch you guys over to the other side. They are so cute, I know. They're adorable. Bear with me. Your quail usually lay during the night? Yeah, they'll lay. I come out here to do my quail egg hunts around 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the evening. The little birdies are quail. These are quail. Go ahead, love. They are standard quail. You have different types of quail, like button quail, jumbo quail. These are just your standard quail. What you just heard was, if you guys heard that, was a rooster call. So one of my roos was just doing his little crow there. You can hear them running. There will be an egg hunt later today, yes. Sorry if it's loud for you guys. Quail, basically, okay, so they are very similar to chickens, but there are some very important differences to quail versus chickens for care that you'll want to know before getting them. So they're very similar to chicken care, but there are differences. Aww, a lot of people love the egg hunts. I do too. They're fun. Alright, so once I lay the new paper layer down, I take their bedding, fresh bedding, and I will put it into their hutch on top of the paper. And I'll spread it around. Sorry for the notification that I just got. Oh, what am I doing after this? We're gonna go to the store, and that's about it. We're just gonna go to the store. We gotta get some groceries and, you know, usual life stuff. Oh my gosh. Let me turn my notifications off for you guys. Hold on one second. Okay, notifications are off. I'm going to close you guys in here for just 1 minute because I have to go get their marigold flowers. Hold on one second. Okie dokie, I'm back. Looks like you guys have some visitors. Alright, so here's some marigold flowers for them. They love marigold flowers. It's a really fun snack. I pull them apart and I just sprinkle them all over the hutch. The marigold flowers actually offer more than just enrichment as far as like snacking goes, but this is what gives their yolks those beautiful deep orange colors. It also provides vitamins and minerals for their egg health, and they love them. Marigolds also help keep pests away, like lice and mites. So it kind of has like a 3 different really good meanings. I also give them the leaves, so marigold leaves, and I just break them up for them and they just have fun with them and they eat the heck out of them. All of these marigold leaves and flower petals will be completely eaten by the time I'm finished this live. They're already in here pecking away. I will answer questions in just a minute. I can't quite see anything right now for you guys. Okay. Their hutch is completely done. I don't know how well you can see in here right now. Flooding. Okay, let's see. Let me close up their door before I forget, and then I'll get to questions. Would you say quails are a profit every year for food? And yep, so we don't have to ever buy eggs from the store. Our girls provide us with all of the eggs that we need, which is amazing. And I do sell their eggs, so I get a little bit of return money-wise on those. And then I will be selling their chicks as well, so I'll get some return on that too. After I'm done getting food, I don't know what we're gonna do. Probably just relax in the house. Babies. What kinds of differences? Okay, so differences between chickens and quail. So if you want to talk about just care for your quail versus care for your chickens, for their food, quail are much smaller than chickens, so they can choke on things that like a chicken wouldn't usually choke on. So they get pellets, or I'm sorry, crumbles instead of pellets, because the pellets are a choking hazard for them. So they will get crumbles, which is just pellets that are ground up, and then they do get some corn, like hard corn kernels, but they're cracked, which means they're just like they're all broken up as well. Black oil sunflower seeds are fine, but the gray and white striped with the shell on, they cannot have, like chickens can have. Now, quail spook really easily, and when they spook, they jump, and they jump with a lot of force. So for their coop needs to either be 2 feet and under, like mine, or it needs to be 6 feet and above. So if you have a coop that is in between the 2 and the 6 foot threshold, like if it's 3 feet, 5 feet, whatever, when they startle, which is often, quail startle very easily, but when they startle, they're going to jump, and they can oftentimes break their necks on the roof of the coop because they're able to get enough momentum going after the 2 foot mark to where they can hit with enough force. So it's not like that for chickens. So it's just like little differences like that you need to be aware of before having quail. Quail do not typically like to free range out in the yard like chickens do. So like chickens can just kind of go out in the yard. Most likely they'll be fine. They'll get themselves up in a tree if they need to, kind of hide from a predator, or roosters are big enough to fight off a lot of predators for chickens. However, quail are very small. So our quail roosters don't have much of a fight. Unfortunately, they will do everything they can, of course, but they don't have much of a fight versus like a chicken rooster. And quail can't fly. So a lot of people mistake quail for flying because when they jump, they will flap their wings and they'll glide, and they can jump up to 5 feet in the air. So it looks like they're flying, but they're not. They're gliding. They'll jump to get height, and then they'll glide with their wings. So predators are really an issue because they can't fly to get up high enough in a tree or hide or anything of that nature. They're a little slower than chickens, so they won't want a free range. We do have them out in the yard sometimes, usually only 2 at a time because of predator issues. We want to be able to keep an eye on them as much as we can, and they're small, so they can easily be lost. So they don't typically free range. They'll stay out in their coop, and they love it there. I do, so they're all Caturnix, or Caturnix. I always want to say Caturnix for some reason. Caturnix. They're all Caturnix standard quail, but I do have girls in here that have the Celadon gene as well. Those are the girls that lay the blue eggs have the Celadon gene. Not all of them, obviously, because I get other eggs, but not all of them have the Celadon gene in here, but some of them do, which is pretty awesome. A garden checkup. How often do you do I do a deep clean typically every 2 weeks. If something has happened and there's a larger mess than usual within those 2 weeks, then I'll clean it sooner. But typically only every 2 weeks I'll do a deep clean. I do a daily clean of their food and their water bowls, but that's pretty much it. If I see that there's if they kicked bedding out of their hutch into their, run part of their coop, then I'll just do a quick sweep, but nothing crazy.
Can I have the hash brown?
Nope, it's mine.
Okay.
You can have anything else though. Do quail like water? I wouldn't recommend, just like any bird, I wouldn't, well, not any bird, because ducks and geese like to play in water. However, quail are not. It's kind of much like chickens. You don't put them in a body of water typically. When their feathers get wet, if the day is not hot enough or dry enough to get their feathers dry, they can become hypothermic. So you have to be really careful with getting them soaked. Can quail go broody? Yes, quail can go broody. It's just extremely rare if quail go broody. Typically, quail will go broody, and then I feel like my camera's a mess. Typically, if a quail goes broody, because like I said, it is rare. I've never personally had a quail go broody. But if a quail does go broody, what ends up happening is they don't stay broody long enough to hatch the eggs. So what they'll do is they will go broody for a week or so, and then they'll come out of being broody, and then the eggs won't hatch because they won't be able to continue to develop. So that's the main problem with quail, which a lot of people don't realize. They don't have an instinct typically to hatch their eggs. So me taking the eggs out of there isn't an issue for them. They don't care that I'm taking their eggs out. So I don't have any chickens. I only have quail, and we just got done cleaning their entire coop. Now I have to finish putting it back together for them because I took out all of their food. I love their little rooster calls. I took out all of their food and their sticks and their play, buckets and dirt bowls and dirt buckets, things like that. So I got to put everything back in. Whoop. Bear with me. We'll get this opened. Oh yeah? My goodness. Alright, so first thing I'll do is I'll get their food tray put back in. And I'll put their food on the food tray. Excuse me. Beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Okay. Next, I will do their dirt buckets, and I'll put their dirt buckets back where they belong. They'll have fun with that. It'll all look a mess by this evening. It won't even look like I did anything in here. Let's go over to their water. Well, not their water, but the water side of their little coop here. Alright. I'll put in their plague bucket first. They love this bucket. And I put it on the other side that doesn't have the water. I should have put, I forgot I have to put the sticks back in. Alright, so they have play sticks. They love these sticks. And I kind of just set them up for them. They always knock them down because they like to climb all over them, but I set them up all nice for them at first, and then I just let them do what they need to do with them. Okay, perfect. My hands are dirty. Okay, and then I'll move their water bowl, container, I don't know, back over this way. And good as new, perfect. I've got to bring their bedding back in the house so I don't forget the bag of bedding. Bear with me. And that was a rooster call, if you guys were able to hear that. Go back under the tree here so I can see these comments better. Yes, I do. I have 2 dogs and I have 3 cats. And I do have more chicks, quail chicks, in the brooder in our garage for now. They'll be going out in the coop in a little bit. I'm also getting I'm getting 8 more quail from somebody who isn't able to take care of their quail anymore, so they are giving them to me. So I'm going to be getting them this week, and then we'll do a quarantine period with them, so they can't be, since they're from a different house, they can't be put together immediately, just in case if the quail are sick. I don't want to get the rest of my flock sick. So quarantine period is to make sure they don't have any illnesses, and then also we gradually introduce them to each other so that way they don't fight, because you can sometimes have fighting happen when you introduce new birds that are fully grown to the flock. It's kind of like a pecking order that they do to see who's in charge now. Hope you go live on YouTube more often. I will try. I'll be honest, like, going live is not my favorite thing to do, so I'll try to do better with that. So I've never tried sand with my quail. I've never tried sand with my quail, so I don't know if they prefer sand to the dirt, but they love their dirt, and I'm sure that they probably would enjoy sand as well, because it's very similar. Am I good to the animals? Of course I am. Of course I am good to the animals. Why wouldn't I be? Would you say quail are more kinder than chickens? I don't know. Like, to be honest with you, I don't own chickens. I've never owned chickens. I do have plans in the future to have chickens one day when I'm ready, which maybe will be next year or so. But I don't know. I have friends who have chickens, and I've been around chickens plenty. I've never really had an issue with chickens, and I've never had an issue with quail, so I don't know, like, if one is friendlier more than the other. They both seem kind of the same to me. I have met a mean chicken rooster before, so I've never had a mean quail rooster, so I can, from personal experience, just personal experience, this might just be my opinion, but from what I have experienced with chicken roosters versus quail roosters is chicken roosters can be a little more temperamental than the quail roosters. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Aurora. That's terrible. That is terrible. quail be eaten by anything? Yes. Quail are prey animals, so they have no defense against predators. So anything will scoop them up. You get a hawk that comes by, they'll try to scoop them up. I've heard that, now I haven't heard from quail owners, but I've heard from chicken owners that crows are really good for keeping the hawks away, and they won't mess with your birds. But quail are much smaller than chickens, so I'm not sure if crows would mess with the quail. I know that they'll keep hawks away, but if they'll go after my quail, I don't know. So, yeah. Foxes, raccoons, coyote, they will all go after the quail. It's an easy target. Oh, your quail just laid an egg right now. That's awesome. Your chicken's name is Snow? That's so cute. I love that. All right, so we're gonna get ready to go to the store. We've got to get some groceries. So I think I'm gonna hop off now, but I appreciate everyone joining in on my live. I will be back another time. I don't know when. I can't tell you when. Like I said, live isn't my favorite thing to do. So I usually just do a lot of videos. I heard people say mice eat them. No, rats are a different problem. Mice, your chickens and your quail will eat the mice. They're omnivores. So chickens and quail, they'll eat fruits and vegetables and seeds and things like that and grain, but they will also eat meat. So a lot of people don't realize that, but if there's a mice issue, your chickens will eat them right up. Your quail will eat them right up. Rats, though, are a whole different issue. Rats are pretty nasty. I'm not talking about pet rats, okay? Rats are cool, and as pets, like, you really get to see a side of rats that are pretty neat. They're very smart, but in the wild, when they're hungry, rats are pretty nasty, and they will eat your birds.
She wants to say bye.
This one's a boy. That's a boy. That's Donald.
Oh.
Daisy is the one with the white face. Yeah. Okay, bye. See ya. Hank, come here. He's living his best life, laying in the yard. Come here, Hank. You want to say hi? Or say bye? You say bye to the people? This is one of my dogs. My other dog is inside. Come here, Hank. Hank. Come here. Come here. Over here. Over here. Come here. He's like, what do you want me to do? Come here, Hank. Oh, he's like, no, she's crazy. Come here. Hank, come here. No. Okay. Come here. No. He's confused. He doesn't understand. All right. You love rats? Yes. Rats are really special. A lot of people don't realize how special rats are. Like I said, they're very smart animals, and they can be loving. But in the wild, rats will do what Mother Nature does, and if they're hungry, they'll go after your birds. All right, I'm heading out. I'm gonna leave now. So y'all have a good one. Thanks for joining in. Hank. He's being camera shy today. I can't get him on camera. He does not want to be on camera. But this is Hanky. He's the sweetest little doggy ever. We love him so much. We got them. Mwah. We have good animals. Really good animals. Love them all. Alright, y'all. Have a good one. Now I have to figure out how to end my live. You know how to end the live? I don't know how to end the live on YouTube. I only know TikTok.
I thought you were on TikTok.
No, I'm on YouTube.